Hey guys, this is Ash with Gamers Compete here. This is a continuation of our Overwatch Complete Series. Today we're going to be going over creating space and the purpose of space. So, first off, the term space can be kind of confusing. In general, saying that you're going to create space means that you're moving forward or towards the enemy team to kind of give the teammates behind you a sort of safe zone. This is generally going to be done as a tank character, but there are situations where DPS can create space and things like that. So first off, creating space doesn't necessarily just mean absorbing damage and walking forward with your shield. It can also be simply being a threat or being imposing on the enemy team. So you can prevent damage and give your team a lot of opportunities that they can work with, but you can also draw the attention to you. You can kind of pose a threat to the enemy team, so a high charge Zarya, for example, or a Roadhog up in the enemy's lines, or killing the enemy team, a Genji who gets picks on the enemy team's healers, and maybe you keep the enemy team's healers separated from the rest of the team, things like that. These are all different ways that you can make space, but kind of the general concept. Another way of making space is if the enemy team's running snipers, your team can pull out a Winston or a Diva or a Genji, and you can lock down that enemy team. You can lock down that enemy team member and disable them from getting picks on your team and preventing your team from moving around, things like that. Here you'll see the attackers have pushed to the defender's spawn and are holding them there. This allows the Orisa to push payload with basically uncontested for this entire second point. And so you'll see Genji dropping Blade, things like that, in there at their spawn, just to give Orisa space and just no pressure on her as she just pushes the cart. The attackers almost end up having an entire point of them moving the objective without it being contested at all by the enemy team. Towards the end, you'll see Ashe kind of run out there to contest and things like that, but she's quickly shut down by the Moira and Orisa. So here, even though the enemy team might want to contest the objective, due to how much of a threat the DPS, the Genji, Doomfist, and the Roadhog and Moira are posing at their spawn, they can't expend enough resources to go and contest the objective until it gets to their spawn door. They also are constantly being staggered over and over and over again as they try to force their way out. This allows the attackers to have a significant advantage in almost every fight this game after the first engage. The defenders are finally able to contest the objective after it gets right to the third point and final point for this round and is right outside their spawn door. They're finally able to contest it, and so they try to hold it for a while. At this point, though, the attackers have all built up a bunch of ultimates, the defenders are staggered, and they easily cap point. So that's a brief, kind of very vague breakdown of making space, and we will be releasing a more in-depth video on creating space and using space to your advantage at a later date. But that's basically going to be space for now as far as the Overwatch Complete Series goes, and I will see you guys later.